Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Cal StarCraft, and I am going to be casting the third and final game. It's going to be a best of 3 series, actually. I apologize. I assumed it was a best of 2 series, and I pretty much probably spoiled this game, but whatever. I'm going to be casting a game 1v1 between Acer Nerchio, who's going to be spawning as the blue Zerg to the bottom right. It's going to be on Shakur's Plateau. And it looks like there's actually a little bit of lag in the game, so that's pretty cool stuff. And then we do have, to the top left, we have Monchi, the green Protoss, who showed he was not afraid to cannon rush like a baller last game. So that's very annoying. That was annoying for the Zerg player, but not so much for the Protoss. And Protoss did pay for it because he... He committed way too much to that. He was planning to go to double Stargate in game number 2, but wasn't that great when there was Roaches and Hydralisks. And Zerg can beat a Protoss early game like that. Hydralisks do quite a bit of DPS, and for you Zerg players, I honestly recommend that you definitely go like Ling Hydralisk early game. It kills a Protoss really good. And it's good at stopping the 6-gate push, which we might see in this game. You never know. Or we might see a double Stargate. We have a lot of options. Or maybe the Warp Prism drop with 4 sentries, which isn't that great because Zergs have been finding a way to stop it, especially at this pro level. There was an Extractor and it was cancelled by Nerchio. I do not quite sure. Maybe it was to fake it? Well, he didn't, and Monchi didn't even scout that Geyser, so never mind. Maybe it was a missed decision. And Monchi's still opting to go for that Forge, then Gateway fast expand. And I think Nerchio is actually going to... Yes, he is going to do the Hatchery cancel into Evolution Chamber. This is going to be... Or Evolution Chamber, whatever. It's going to be so annoying for the Protoss. So Nerchio saying, you know what, screw you for your cannons last game. Guess what I got? I got an Evo Chamber. And your cannon's going to take quite a bit, delaying this Nexus, but at the same time, Monchi could put a pylon down. Nerchio is supply blocked. Wait, how is he supply blocked? Did he kill? I do not know. Anyway, I do not know. 2 probes are being sent down to kill the Evolution Chamber, and a pylon isn't going to go down. This probe is on hold position. There's the pylon, and 4 Zerglings are on the way, so, oh man, Monchi's probably going to have to cancel this. Yeah, there it goes. There goes the hatchery. So Monchi going to be a little bit behind when it comes to this economic war, this economic fight to the death. Zerglings are going to be moving out. This probe's going to take the Xel'Naga. Get out of there. There are Zerglings. You better run, probe. They could get you. Oh, and Broodlings do come out. Do not kill that probe. I think they did kill that other one. The Zell is going to be on hold position. Cannon is going to say, "Hello, Zerglings," and there's the Nexus, ladies and gentlemen. Along, not too far behind, but Zerg is still ahead, and I wouldn't be surprised if Zerg were to go for a 3rd hatchery. Nerchio going for that, might go for that 3rd hatchery. And no, still no gas from Nerchio. Just notice this, not getting gas till a little bit later. He probably isn't going to get gas until this hatchery is fully saturated because he wants more minerals for drones, I suppose. And yeah, I think that's the only explanation I can make. I'm a Protoss player. I can't really do anything. But there actually is a 3rd hatchery going down for Nerchio, which is good stuff. I do have an Overlord going to be moving on the crevices, this little cliff here. Going to be seeing if there's going to be any pylons that are going to throw down hidden buildings like a dark shrine or something like that. And looks like actually the rocks are going to be taken down for the Zerg player. He's going to be afraid. This is actually hurting and benefiting him at the same time, because what Protosses usually do is they'll get an observer. At least I've seen this from Grubby. Grubby actually does blink stalker harass, where he blinks up here, kills a couple of drones, blinks back down. So this could help in stopping the stalkers, but at the same time you're allowing the stalkers to have an easy access up here. Or I could be wrong. So I hope that possibility does not come up, because I hate being wrong. Being wrong is evil. No, I'm kidding. It makes you a better person. But anyway, 3rd hatchery is done for the Zerg player. No gas still. Actually, I think gases are, yes, gases are being added on. It's actually going to be double gas, so he's going to get a lot of gas. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about that. Drone is being transferred over here, along with actually +1 is on the way, so let's and a Stalker rather than a Sentry, which is really interesting, and I really do like this game sense, the meta game. Monchi's going to know where the Overlord's going to go. Unfortunately, the Overlord is going to stop there. Going to scout here, which is really smart because Protosses can actually hide buildings here. And I'm surprised I don't see that much. But then again, Zerk could just go down here and snipe it. And that would be bad. So, we do have a sentry on the way, and along with 2 more gateways. And there was some Zerglings that were going to go up the ramp. +1 is being chrono boosted as we speak. Where is that Zealot, actually? That Zealot is... Yeah, that Zealot is actually nowhere to be found. So right now, Nerchio is pretty vulnerable at this point. Unless the... well, the Overlord's right there. And just a lot of complaints going on in the chat, pretty much. Just hearing Nerchio and these guys just typing constantly. So I don't know what that's about. It's probably just a bunch of trolling. Stalker actually the Stalker and the Zealot were going to pushing up to this 3rd base here. Okay. Anyway, Stalker is going to pull back. He's got to be scared of these because no speed is on the way. So notice that Nerchio gets speed relatively late because of the fact that he delays his gas. He's actually going to go Roaches again. The same thing. So it's basically a mirror game of the first game. It's going to be Nerchio just going Zergling Roach, and then Monchi might go for that sentry drop again, but I am not too sure. There's no robotics on the way. Just actually 2 targets, and it looks like Nerchio did spot that, so that sucks. I don't know what Monchi's gonna do. Nerchio's just gonna get prepared. He's probably gonna get spore crawlers. He has an evolution chamber. I am pretty sure he has an evolution chamber. He actually doesn't. That's really interesting. No evolution chamber down for Nerchio, so actually it's actually going to be just a single Stargate because it was scouted, and Nerchio's still going to scout that too. And there's actually going to be a Void Ray to go out, and this might just substitute for the Immortals, which I like. You see, as a Protoss, armored Void Rays are good versus armored, and Immortals are also good versus armored. And since Zerg are not very good at, like, when it comes to anti-air early game, the Void Ray is actually going to be a great contribution, but let's get back to the game. Zerglings are going to get a surround. Killed 1 sentry. Going to get a complete surround. Force fields are being forced to be surrounding the Protoss army. Roaches are moving in. More force fields going down, but it's not going to be much. Stalker count is relatively low. Zealots are going to move in. Force fields. Tickle Cannon's not doing too much. There is a pylon down, warping in more Stalkers. And wow, it looks like Monchi is going to actually stop this, but I would honestly pull back and focus down the Roaches. Roaches are very tough for this early game. And Nerchio in a kind of a rough spot. He's just allowing Monchi to get this Void Ray out first of all, and these ground units. So it looks like this Void Ray is going to be on the high ground. I'm not sure if Nerchio does not see that, so he's probably going to be in for a shock when he does see that Void Ray is there, and the Queens are going to have to be pulled off the line to help, which is going to delay Larva, but I think it's fine. So far, an intense game. Very interesting push on Monchi's part. The Voiders are actually might overextend themselves. Queens are going to move in. Roaches are going to move in, and this Void Ray is out of position. He needs to pull this Void Ray back to focus down on the Roaches. Pylon was killed down. Sentries are probably going to force field this off. No, they are not. Very interesting decision. It looks like Roaches are just going to push right in their face, Sentries are being killed. Stalkers are being killed. Stalkers still microing to the best of their abilities. Void Rays are fully charged. Going to kill the Roaches. Killing 1 Roach at a time. These Queens are off creep, so they're super slow. Transfuse on the other Queen. 1 Queen does go down. And Void Rays are still fully charged. I don't like this pullback decision from Monchi. He can actually just push in. Looks like Void Rays are going to take care of the Roaches, but the ground army isn't too great. But that's actually a lot of Stalkers, so this is going to be great. If Monchi can micro well, this Roach army could die, but at the same time, Nerchio doing a great job of holding up. He actually has Spine Crawlers over here, Spore Crawlers actually, not Spine Crawlers. Very interesting decision. It looks like the Spore Crawlers are going to be repositioning themselves. Saturation is pretty bad for the 3rd, and the 3rd is finally going down for Monchi, so very preoccupied. This is buying the Protoss lots of time, and just going to Stalker Void Ray. Stalker Void Ray is actually surprisingly well, it seems like, but yeah, but it's going to be in for a surprise because Nerchio has Spore Crawlers this time, going to defend against this, which is really nice stuff, and Void Rays are just going to kite, I suppose. Lots of Zerglings. No Zealots to tank. There's actually only 2 Zealots. More Zealots are being morphed in because there's Zerglings here. And Voiders are going to move back. And, oh, wow! The Twilight Council is actually on the low ground. This is extremely risky, considering the fact that not only is it an Artosis pylon, but it's in open ground. I don't agree with that at all, actually. That's... It's actually kind of comical, but whatever. Whatever floats his boat, like I say in my other videos. And it looks like 7 Hydralisks are on the field, along with 15 Roaches. And 20... Oh, no, never mind. Oh, okay, whatever. It's a lot of Zerglings. Okay, 44. 44 Zerglings, yeah. And Monchi's going to try to go over here. No, the Zerglings are going to probably get us around. If Blink is researched, the Zealot Stalker is just really good. Along with this Void Ray, I really like this build. For Protosses, look at this build, guys, because this is pretty nifty stuff. Along with Blink, that could stop pretty much everything. It's also relatively cheap too, and it's going to force the Zerg to get Hydralisks. But Hydralisks are a good answer, considering Hydralisks could rip through gateway units and could rip through these Void Rays, if not focused down. So Baneling Nest is on the way for Nerchio. I really like this decision because he kind of knows what the unit Nerchio does know what the unit composition is for the Protoss. Gonna get a lot of Zealots, and I also like this because the Banelings are gonna roll out. No, but seriously, gonna roll out. Hold on, just a sec. There is a battle going on. 1 Zealot does die, and this is a huge army from Nerchio. But anyway, going back to the Banelings can focus down the Zealots, and then there's no tanking. But at the same time, I really like this too, because Monchi's getting Archons as well, blinking away, repositioning the units, and there's about to be a huge battle that's going to be going on. Void Rays are on the high ground. It looks like here's the engagement. Roaches in moving in. Zerglings are going to go around. No sentries in sight. There's the blink. Zealots are going to try to do as much as they can. No Banelings on the field, so it's not going to be effective. Void Rays are being focused down. Stalkers are trying to micro to the best of their abilities. Archons are going to do a lot of splash, and they're tanking like a boss. But it's just too many forces from Nerchio, and I don't know if Monchi can hold. See, that was... I don't know what that was all about, that whole Twilight Council thing. Maybe he just got lazy. Whatever. The point is, Stalkers are being morphed in. No blink micro going on. Queens are actually in the field, going to be transfusing the units. I didn't see that. I apologize. Stalker is on the high ground. Lots of Zerglings are going to be getting us around. No Zealots in sight. And Stalkers are forced to be inside a tiny choke in the mineral line. Hydralisks doing a ton of DPS. Zealots are moving in. Oh my goodness. Hold position on the Zerglings. And still, Chrono Boost on the gateways, robotics facilities on the way. Zealots are moving in, but I cannot believe it. Monchi is going to hold. This is incredible. I cannot believe that Monchi could hold it. He could hold it barely, but yeah, Zergling Hydralisk is going to be the transition for Monchi, but at the same time, Nerchio has 4 hatcheries now. He's on 4 base, while the Protoss is on 3rd, so right on par. No Storm is on the way for the Templar, and all the Void Rays were focused down. And I don't know, yeah, Monchi is not going to go for that, and he doesn't really need to build a pylon because his Twilight Council, I mean, he might want it for the charge, but doesn't really matter. So that was, I cannot believe Monchi held that. That is just absolutely incredible. It just shows you how much these guys play and how good they are and how much they love StarCraft 2, because let's face it, StarCraft 2 is an amazing game. So we are going to see Hydralisk, Baneling, Ling. Very tough build to stop for a Protoss because their Storm is on the way, but it's not quite finished yet. So if Nerchio were to push in right now, it would be so key. But I think he's going to wait for the centrifugal hooks. Just kidding. Hydralisks are going to focus down the Twilight Council. Man, Templar need to get in a better position. Hydralisks are going to move up to the main base, and Banelings and Zerglings are just going to stay here. Going to bait in the Protoss, and here is probably going to be the final battle. Zealots, no charge, moving in, blink on the Stalkers, and Storm is done. Nice Storms on Monchi's part. Going to be taking out a majority of the Hydralisks, but still, Hydralisks doing a ton of damage. Storms, reposition on the Hydralisks, blink on the Stalkers, but there's not enough units. Just seems Nerchio. Actually, you know what? Monchi is going to stop this. Archon's being morphed in. Nice job blinking on the Roaches. That was pretty clutch. Going to trap those Roaches. And wow, I cannot believe this. Monchi is going to stop this again, ladies and gentlemen. This is insane Monchi, wow, nice job on your part. And Nerchio, nice job on, I mean, don't count Nerchio out yet. He's on 5 base now. So, he just needs to sit back and macro. He needs to sit back and just kind of get... I want to actually see the upgrade. It's going to be 1-1. Protoss has 2-1. So there's an upgrade advantage for the Protoss. 2 Templars do get sniped. 1 Archon does get sniped by the Roaches. They are going to pull back. I really do like this. Just going to be poking and prodding. 4th base is on the way for Monchi. And Nerchio is going to see that. That probe is being focused down with minerals in hand. So he didn't do too much except warp in a Nexus, which is good. It looks like there's another battle. Roaches. I don't like this engagement at all from Nerchio. It's 2 storms do go. Blink on the Stalkers. Going to be taking out quite a bit of Roaches. Hydros are on the field. I really don't like this engagement from the Zerg player. He's going to have to pull back, get on creep. Now I think you can engage now because actually, you know what? Never mind. Just not enough units from Nerchio, and he's just letting Monchi get too many units. Nerchio just needs to sit back and macro. He can't be hyper aggressive. Yeah, so we are going to see, it looks like Nerchio is going to go around, but the Protoss is just all over that. Blink in for the Stalkers, but then again, Stalkers are out of position because the Archons aren't in the front tanking. There are Templars moving in, and Nerchio is going to go around. Nice Storm, going to catch those Templars out of position. Storm wasn't that great. It was kind of decent, but these Templar are out of position, blinking behind the High Templars. No Storms were inflicted that day. Archon is being morphed in. Zealots are tanking, but there are just too many units. But let's see if Monchi can hold. Archon immediately gets killed, and it looks like these Stalkers are going to have to be forced to blink out. And look at the food, 166 to 108. So, very intense game so far. There's +2 Carabase on the way, along with 18 Zerglings. That is a ton of Zerglings, and it's going to catch the Zerg out of position. And the only thing that Monchi could do at this point is just do plain old-fashioned blink micro, but he's not doing that. He's just going to kill these Stalkers. Blink it. I don't... that was weird. I don't know why he blinked it. I think honestly, Monchi thought that he was going to lose, and he's like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to blink in your face. I lost. Yeah. Okay, so there is the good game from Monchi. I hope you guys enjoyed. Just incredible game. That is the best way to wrap up this series. And be sure to check out Getting Par's channel. Really good Call of Duty caster and all that great stuff. Be sure to check out T-Dub's channel. He does great tutorials on Adobe and stuff like that. He has quite a bit of views, but if you don't know him, go check him out. He's on my subscriptions. And if you can't get to my subscriptions, I just type in T-Dub Studios and all that good stuff. And be sure to remember to like and subscribe this video. It really helps me out a lot. And I'll see you guys next time.